So with all the new players coming to Splitgate recently, I figured now would probably be a good time to release a full-blown weapon guide for all of you who maybe are just starting off and don't know what any of these things do. Which weapons should I use? Which weapons are good, etc. So we're going to do that today. And if I get anything wrong, feel free to completely shame me in the comment section and prove me wrong. This video is going to be broken down into two parts. One is going to be us spending some time in the training range going over each individual weapon, their strengths, their weaknesses, their damages, everything. And the second part of the video is going to be more practical, like on the map when I pick up a sniper rifle, how long until that sniper rifle respawns, stuff like that. Also, if you're new to Splitgate and you want to get yourself 50 free split coins, I think it is, you go over here to the bottom left where it says reward center and you can enter in somebody's referral code. Who referred you? Well, in that case, it might just happen to be me. You can use my referral code at the bottom right here, HFJZVY. Copy that code into here. You got to be under level 10 and new to the game basically, and you'll get yourself some free split coins. I'll get some split coins. Everybody wins. So to talk about all these weapons, we're going to go into something called the practice range. So we'll see you there. When I'm talking about all these weapons today, I'm not going to be going over the reload times, the zoom levels, and all that type of stuff. I'm going to be mainly focusing on the damage that these weapons do, the damage drop-offs they have, the headshot damage versus the body damage, etc. Things like that. The most important, like, meaty stats that most people probably want to see. That being said, I will leave a link in the description to the dev spreadsheet that is the official stats for all of the weapons. So if you want to know all of the stats in detail and break it down for yourself, you can do that. Again, I'm just going to cover what I think is the most important today. And one thing I'd also like to add before we get into this guide is that most of the weapons in Splitgate are hit scan. All hit scan means is if I put my reticle on the target, no matter the distance, the bullet is going to have an instant travel time to that target and make a contact. If it's a projectile, it's going to take some time for that thing to get over there, like the rocket launcher. So first up, we have the Carbine, which is a single shot weapon that you spawn in with in most of the regular game modes that aren't like Team Fiesta and shoddy snipers and things like that. It's a single shot weapon, no damage drop off, 30 damage to the body and 40 to the head at any range. So that guy will have 30 damage to the body, 40 to the head at any range. So basically, as long as you get one headshot in the gunfight, you can 3-shot somebody because that'll equal 100 damage. Obviously, if you get 4 body shots and you are unable to hit the head, it's going to require a little bit more time because you're going to need that 4th shot to kill somebody. And again, remember, no damage fall off with the Carbine. Whether it's here in the body, I get 30 damage. Whether it's way out there in the body, I get 30 damage. Same thing with the headshot, 40, 40. All right, so next up we have the assault rifle, and this is the first gun that we're going to cover today that does in fact have a damage drop off. And again, like we talked about, all that means is the further the targets are out distance wise, the less damage you're going to do to not only the body but the headshot multiplier as well. And it has 2 damage drop-offs, a damage drop-off starting at 20 meters and a second drop-off at 40 meters, which will have you doing 85% of the weapon's ability. So we will go up to the firing range and we will test that theory out. Up close, we're going to have 13 damage to the body, as you can see repeatedly, and we're going to have 18 damage to the head repeatedly as well. Now we go a little bit further out, still getting 13 to the body, still getting 18 to the head. So this is about the distance where you can have max damage with this thing. Let's go a little bit further out even still. Now we got 12 to the body on this dummy, 17 to the head at that distance. So the damage is starting to fall off a little bit. Go out even further still. Let's just pick this guy. 11 to the body, 16 to the head, 11 to the body, 15 to the head, 11 to the body, 15 to the head. So when you're able to get the maximum damage for the assault rifle, it's not a bad weapon. There are things that do its job better, like the SMG in close quarters combat, in my opinion. But if you're able to mix in some headshots with this thing, it's a pretty good weapon, serviceable at least. Third, we have the pistol. So let's talk about it. The pistol is hit scan and also has 2 damage drop-offs, just like the assault rifle does, except these damage drop-offs are a little bit closer in. We got one at 15 meters and another one at 30 meters. In addition to that, the damage drop-off is a little bit more harsh at 30 meters, with only doing 75% damage of the maximum abilities of the pistol. That being said, we have a 17 damage to the body, 22 to the head up close in that first damage drop off range. Now I will say that in the actual chart that 1047 Games has given us, they list it as 17.5 to the body and 22.5 to the head. I'm not sure why it doesn't show it in game, probably because they didn't want to put decimals in the damage multipliers. Now, because the damage drop off is a little bit more harsh with the pistol, you can see, yes, we're getting 17 and 22 over here, but we're probably only going to get 17, okay, 16, 1621. So it's a little bit weaker even this range, which is pretty crazy. Go out here, Weaker still. 15, 19. Let's go way out here. 13, 16. So it's really, really weak at a long distance, and you only have 12 shots in this thing. So even as much as you can spam it, you're gonna have to hit every shot to do any type of, you know, real damage and put in some real work on far away targets. Up close though, you can mix in a couple of headshots and body shots and then melee someone just really quick. I mean, that's a free kill. The pistol's really good up close. I'd like to see the pistol get nerfed a little bit, like maybe just like 1 damage point up close or something like that. I'm not sure what they could do. I'm not good at that type of decision making, but I'd like to see a slight pistol nerf in the future, at least in close quarters. Now, next up, we have the battle rifle. Battle rifle is the proud and true 3-round burst weapon that you're probably also familiar with. Now, the battle rifle does 15 damage to the body and 25 damage to the head at any range. There is no drop off with the battle rifle, no damage drop off, I should say. So if you're accurate, the battle rifle can be very deadly. Whether it's a mixture of 2 headshots right back to back or all headshots followed by a body shot, you can basically 2-burst somebody with this thing if your aim is good enough. And I'll just show you that real quick. We got up close, we got 75 damage in basically a second, followed by a body shot that would have him dead because that's another 45 damage. Out at this distance, 25s, all 25s all day. Even that distance, it doesn't matter. There's no damage drop off. So if you're accurate, the battle rifle is an extremely deadly weapon that might just be for you. Next up, we're going to talk about the shotgun. Now, the shotgun shoots 7 pellets, each of them doing 25 to the body and 30 to the head up close. Now, for the shotgun, I'm actually going to come over here because I want to show you the spread pattern. Now, if you'll notice, I have my shotgun reticle changed to a diamond. And that is because the shotgun has a constant spray pattern that's pretty much going to look like this diamond. Let me show you. As you can see, the shotgun will always fire its 7 pellets in this type of pattern. So no matter where I shoot, it's always going to remain the same. It's going to be a perfect, pretty much line up perfectly with this diamond. So what this diamond allows you to do is basically, if you're able to keep this diamond completely on someone's body, you know all of your shots are going to hit. And you're going to hit for big damage. 175 damage to be exact, just to the body. Now, because of how lethal the shotgun is, obviously the damage drop off is much more harsh. The first damage drop off starts at 6 meters. Only 6 meters out, you're going to start doing less damage. And the second one is at 24 meters, where you're only going to do 35% maximum of this gun's potential. So we can just show you that really quick. 175 and 205 to the head up close, which is what shotgun should do. And then we go a little bit further out now. 117 damage. You can still 1-pump somebody. You still have 1-pump potential at this range. Over here, 19 damage. Look at the massive difference over there. So 113, you're still in 1-pump potential right here, as long as you're able to pretty much keep your reticle dead center on the target. Now, if you go a little bit over here, maybe you miss. 64 damage. You know, you're a little bit wild. People are strafing. You hit them in the leg. 48 damage. So you really got to be accurate to 1-pump at this distance. All that being said, I think the shotgun's one of my favorite weapons in the game. It very much reminds me of the OG days of Fortnite, where you can 1-pump somebody and it's just super satisfying. Team shoddy snipers, probably my favorite game mode in the game. All right, next up, we're going to talk about the SMG. Now, the SMG does 10 damage to the body and 12.5 to the head up close, and has a pretty harsh damage drop off as well, because you get 50 rounds in this thing and you can spray it really fast, so it needs a good damage drop off. The first damage drop off is at 15 meters, the second at 30 meters, and at that 30-meter range, you'll only be doing 75% of this gun's maximum damage. Let's just show you what that looks like again. We got 10 damage up close to the body, 12 to the head. Out here, a little bit weaker. 9, 8 to the body, 11 to the head. Let's go out here, a little bit weaker. 7, 9 to the head, 7 out there, 9 to the head. So right about here is basically this gun's maximum damage drop off. So it's going to get really weak the further out you go. This is a close range weapon, tried and true. You really don't want to be using it at this range if you don't have to, because I mean, when you're spraying this thing, you can see just how hard the recoil kicks. So it's not that hard to control, but you're not going to be really effective at these ranges with it. All of that taken into account, I feel like the SMG is an extremely strong close range power weapon that you absolutely should be picking up on the map whenever you can, especially if you're a close quarters combat kind of person within Splitgate. And again, has a 50 round mag. So up close, you can just see how fast the kill potential is with targets that are right in front of you. And it's Just super satisfying to hear. Now, next up, we got the sniper rifle, everybody's favorite. Now, there's not too much to explain with the sniper rifle. All I'm going to say is if you want to get better with sniping, go play Team Shoddy Snipers. It's the best game mode for it. The sniper does 65 damage to the body and 150 to the head at any range. No damage drop off. So basically, hit your shots, click your heads. If you can't hit the head, 2 body shots will do the trick at any range as well. Quick little demonstration. 150, 65, 65. Let's try the leg. 65 does not matter. 2 body shots anywhere will get you the kill, but you should be clicking the heads. Now let's talk about the railgun next, because this is an interesting one that's going to take you some getting used to if you've never used a weapon like this before. The railgun is a one-shot kill no matter where you hit them in the body. You could hit them in the toenail of the pinky toe and it'll still do 150 damage. Let me show you. Now, 150 damage, yes, but you probably noticed something else. You have a charge up time with the railgun. It's about a 1-second charge up time. But this gun is hit scan, and you can hit anybody anywhere on the map, any distance, anywhere in the body for 150 damage. So that is why, in my opinion, the railgun is one of the strongest power weapons in the game. So the railgun basically has energy for ammunition in a sense, and every time you take a shot, it goes from 100% to 75% to 50 to 25%, etc. In essence, leaving you with 4 shots. Each shot takes 25% of the energy, and then the gun is done. You gotta wait for a new one to respawn. Anything more than 4 shots, and this would just be broken because it's just so fun and devastating to use. Railgun's definitely up there with my favorite power weapons in the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to get into the plasma rifle. This, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated weapons in the game. I think it's my favorite weapon in the game, and maybe that just because I've come from games like Doom and Quake back in the day. I'm a little bit older. Yes, I get it. Boomer jokes in the comments. Thank you so much. But the plasma rifle has no damage drop off. So you're going to be doing 17.5 damage at any range with this thing. I know we don't get to see the 17.5. We just see 17, as you can see right there. But you can probably already notice something. This gun shoots really, really fast. Something else to note. Well, 2 things to note. There's no headshot multiplier with this gun. Another thing you'll also probably notice in the top right corner, there is no ammunition size. Now, obviously, I'm in the training range, so I have infinite ammo, but the plasma rifle very much operates on that energy system as well. So when you pick up this weapon, you'll have 100% of that energy available to you, and as you burn through it, that percentage will go down. Once it's all out, you swap the weapon. But the other interesting thing with the plasma rifle is it overheats, and that's basically another way to balance this weapon. You can notice that there's a bar when I start shooting right underneath my reticle, and once that hits all the way full, I basically am forced to reload. And that's basically the reload for the plasma. Now, there is a way to get around this, and that's basically just once you see yourself getting close to that edge of the overheating mechanic, you just stop for a second, start shooting again, stop for a second, start shooting again. And if you're able to feather it like that, you'll be able to get more ammo down range more consistently. And that's basically the idea of the plasma rifle. Now, this weapon has arguably the most nuances out of any weapon in the game as far as those things go. And there is one more. It is not hit scan. It is projectile. So if you'll notice, it's taken some time for my little plasma orbs to actually get to the target. That's another balancing mechanic, because if this thing was hit scan, nobody would use anything else. But again, it has no damage drop off. So out there, I'm doing 17 pretty quick. Out here, I'm doing 17, and you can see how fast that damage is racking up. But if you're good and you've played those type of projectile shooting weapons before in older games, you might be able to do some pretty good tracking, even out at 30-40 meters. So it depends what your skill set is, but you can kind of see that you kind of have to stay on target a lot more efficiently to make this thing work past close range. A couple more weapons to go. We're going to talk about the rocket launcher. Now, the rocket launcher is a pretty standard operation here. You got 4 rounds of ammo when you pick it up, 2 in the chamber. You got to reload 2 more. It does 150 direct damage to the head or the body, no matter where you hit them. So if you hit someone direct, you're always going to get the kill. Doesn't matter. You have a 4-meter explosion radius, which is actually pretty good. You know, kudos to the dev for not making it this gigantic radius where you can get killed with the rockets, because in a lot of games the rockets are downright overpowered and you can't escape them. So at least if you're able to get some good strafe action, or if the person misses a little bit or doesn't lead their rocket to the best of their ability, they're not going to get the kill, which I actually applaud. So to demonstrate that, let me just show you. You can see I've already been practicing it. If I shoot a rocket here, still getting 150 damage. If I shoot a rocket just a little bit more to the right, 106 damage, and just a little bit more to the right, even to that, 50 damage. So you can see if they miss and you're far away, they're not going to be able to get the kill on you, which is pretty nice. And last but not least for weapons, we have the BFB, aka the big effing bat. The weapon runs off that energy system again, where you start off with 100% energy, and each swing of the bat that successfully hits an enemy will drain it by 25%, effectively giving you 4 kills with this thing. Now, a couple of things to note with the bat. It is a one-shot kill every single time. So no matter where you hit them, they're dead. The most important thing to note with the bat, in my opinion, is that yes, it's a melee weapon, and yes, like, you have to be up close to hit them, but one thing they do to make that gap get a lot closer is they give you a lunge. I'm not sure on the exact distance that the lunge becomes available, but it seems like it's about 5 meters, because right here, if I swing, I'm not getting nothing, but if I move slightly closer, boom. But one thing to know, and this is just something to keep an eye out for that not a lot of people notice, is when you get within range of that lunge being available to you, look at what the bat does. The bat opens up and kind of has this red glow aura effect around it, and this lets you know that you're going to get the lunge if you swing that bat. Every single time. Bat's closed, not going to get it. Bat's open, going to get it. And that's the big fucking bat. All right, so now that we've done a quick run through of all of the basic weapons, what they do, the damage, how to use them, etc., we're going to talk about weapon spawns and weapon timers. So let's hop over to an actual map and let me show you what I mean. So when you're in an actual match, you'll see the white text lettering for whatever power weapon is on the map, and basically that is on a spawn beacon over here. So say we wanted to pick up the plasma rifle. I pick it up. I have the plasma rifle. We use it. We burn through it. The plasma rifle is no longer on the map after I'm done using it. Okay, so when does the plasma rifle come back? How do we know when the plasma rifle comes back? How do we know when any power weapon comes back? This is something you're going to have to memorize, but each weapon has a different amount of time that it takes for them to come back and respawn on the map. If they respawn too quick, everybody ends up with plasma rifles. If they respawn too slow, then what's the point of having power weapons on the map? This is effectively a way to make it not a one-time use and give other people on the map the chance to get it later on and maybe swing the game back in their favor, but also have a thing like a plasma rifle not be so common on a map like Stadium that's close range that the entire map becomes dictated, you know, based on this weapon. Now, I picked up the plasma rifle pretty early on in the map, and you can see it is now respawning, and boom, now we have another plasma rifle. Now, something like the plasma rifle has a 90-second respawn time, and I'm going to show you because I'm going to pick up this next plasma rifle at 5:30 timer down in the bottom left. Let's wait till 5:30. 3, 2, 1, and pick it up. So now we should basically see another plasma rifle come up at 4 minutes flat. Yes, I'm going to wait until 4 minutes flat to prove this right. All right, and as you can see, it is 4:12, and you can see 10:09. We have about 10 seconds left for the plasma rifle, and pretty much there's your 90 seconds timed almost to the dot. I maybe missed it by a few milliseconds, but basically mentally, if I had made note while I was playing, hey, I picked this up at 5:30. At 4 o'clock, at 4 minutes even, this is going to come back. I know to be back over here if I want to pick up this plasma rifle again. That being said, there are different respawn times for every single weapon in Splitgate that is a power weapon on the map. So that SMG will not be the same as that plasma rifle, which will not be the same as that railgun that's down below the map right there. I'm not going to go through each of these individually. What I am going to do right now is give you something that you can screenshot on the screen and save for later. And this is all of the weapon respawn times for every weapon in Splitgate that you can pick up off the maps. Again, all of this knowledge can be seen at the link in the description that I have for all of the weapon stats. You can look at it there too, but if you want to screenshot this and you like this kind of graphic better, that's fine too. So guys, that is pretty much it for the Splitgate weapon guide. I hope you guys found a ton of value in today's video, and if you did, make sure you drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, because we've been dropping tons of banger Splitgate content. I plan on dropping a lot more, so I hope to see you again. That being said, if there's anything I missed and didn't cover that you think I should have covered today, please let me know down in the comments section. I'd really like to start incorporating some other games to the channel as well in the future, so again, I ask you to leave it down in the comments what other games you want to see. I have some Apex Legends content we can drop. We can do some Halo Master Chief Collection. Whatever you guys are into, I'm into, so let me know. Other than that, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.